If you're thinking about stopping drinking, do not do it until you have watched this video because there's a danger. There's something that will happen to everybody that stops drinking alcohol, and if you're not ready for it, it's going to feel like somebody's punched you in your face and knocked you back 5 years. And I don't want that for you. I want you to stop drinking alcohol, but I want you to feel like you don't want to drink, like the desire has totally left you. And no, I'm not talking about DTs or withdrawal or anything like that. If that's a worry for you, then maybe you need some extra help, not just this video, but I want to give you a different warning. This is something that happened in my life, and after working with over 400 clients, I've seen it happen time and time again. A very quick introduction. My name is Leon Sylvester. I drank alcohol for about 10 years. I tried to stop drinking so many times, begging God to help me, going to church, using willpower, reading books. I tried everything, but nothing seemed to work. But 6 years ago, everything changed. And since then, I've been making videos, explaining how I did it, talking about first principles thinking. And if you want to access a free video training that shows you how to control your drinking in the next 48 hours, then just click the link in the description. You'll put in your name and email address, and then a new video will start playing that shows you how to do it. I don't publish that video anywhere else, so the only way you can access it is clicking the link down below, but that video will blow you away. But I would recommend watching this one first. So I remember the day that I stopped drinking alcohol like it was yesterday. I remember I'd basically destroyed my personal training business. I had broken up with my girlfriend. I had to sell my car. I moved to London. I got this job, this graduate job, some corporate job, whatever. And after a few weeks of that, I quit. I just couldn't hack it. I was drinking way too much. I was smoking cigarettes again. Then I tried to start a business in London. I failed, and then I ran out of money, and then I was back living in Oxford where I was studying, and then I'm working in this flipping restaurant, and everything had just crumbled apart, and it sucked. It was a very, very painful place. And I remember the day that I stopped drinking alcohol. I'd been out the night before. I'd drank a bunch. I'd stayed up all night, and I remember waking up and just having this moment of crisis. Like it all hit me all at once, where I was like, dude, what's happened? You know, I had this talk with myself where I was like, man, if you keep doing this, you're dead. You can't keep doing this. And I looked around at my room, and I looked to the side of me, and there was half a bottle of whiskey on my windowsill that I'd stolen from my housemate, and I'd downed half of it before sleeping. I saw like laundry on the floor. There was like a bit of trash, and I was like, man, what is going on? Now, long story short is I stopped drinking alcohol, and I won't go into all of that stuff now, but basically, after stopping drinking is I got a mentor. I found somebody on YouTube that was talking about starting a business, but he didn't just talk about, you know, marketing and sales or anything like that. He was really talking about personal development, and he was always talking about, you know, the basics, right? Like waking up at the same time every day, not using your phone, and all of this weird stuff that you wouldn't think has got anything to do with business, but actually it's everything. Anyway, one thing that he said, Leon, look at your life. Your life is exactly the way that you've designed it. You are 100% responsible for your life the way it is right now. It's nobody else's fault. It's not alcohol's fault. It's not your mum's fault. It's not, you know, some trauma. It's nothing. It's all your fault, and you've designed it this way. And listen, when I was kind of reflecting and looking at my life, I wanted to cry. I just wanted the ground to swallow me up, right? I just was like, damn, this sucks. And when the mentor told me this, right, it stung. It stung bad because I knew he was right. I knew that I'd designed it this way. I knew that this was all my fault. But to be told that, I mean, it's not a nice thing to hear. Now, luckily, this person wasn't trying to be my friend. He was actually trying to help me. But I designed it this way. You know, my life at that point had revolved around drinking. The work, when I was working in that restaurant, trying to rebuild my cash reserves because I just destroyed a business and whatever, that was a heavy boozing culture. Everybody that I knew drank alcohol. I was living in a party city, and I was going out into bars. People knew who I was. And that was my fault. I designed it that way. Whether or not it was 100% consciously doesn't really matter, but maybe I'd made unconscious decisions, and now look where I am. I'm back in this same place. I'm drinking too much. I'm partying. I'm just being an idiot. And life isn't going the way that I want it to go. And here's the warning. This is what I wanted to warn you about. See, when you stop drinking alcohol, at first it can feel amazing, right? Because you've got this severe point of contrast where you're drinking and you're feeling really, really bad, and then you stop drinking, and then, of course, you feel good. And the reason why it feels good is because you've got this point of contrast. But eventually, everything just starts to level out, and you find a new baseline. So you stop thinking about how bad it was when you were drinking, and now there's just this new normal. And the danger is that you look at your life and you realize that you're not where you want to be. You might look in the mirror and not see what you want to see back reflected at you. You know, you might have done damage to relationships. I'm not trying to dig up the past, right? I'm trying to be real with you, but you might have done damage to relationships that's irreparable. You might look at your bank balance, or you might look at your business growth and realize it's totally stagnated. And you will need to come to terms with this. You will need to accept that this is how you've designed it and it's all your fault. And I'm not trying to say that to push you down in any way. I'm trying to make you realize this so you know that you've got the power to turn things around. See, the real danger with stopping alcohol isn't the withdrawal. Okay, sure, for some people it is, but that's not the real danger for most people. The real danger for most people is they stop drinking alcohol and they look at their life and they don't realize that they're responsible for it and they've got the power to change it. They look at it and they say, well, do you know what? It. What's the point anyway? I might as well keep drinking. And that is the last thing I want you to think. I want you to look at your life and I want you to accept it. I want you to accept that you are where you are because of the actions and thoughts and decisions that you've made. But guess what? You can have new actions, you can have new thoughts, you can have new beliefs, and you can start building things. You can start building your body, you can start building your network, you can start building the relationships with your family, you can start building your business. You can get to a place where you're building instead of destroying. Because that's all alcohol is. It's a stupid, selfish act that destroys everything. Alcohol destroys pretty much every cell in your body. It can destroy every relationship that you've got in your life, but not drinking will have the opposite effect. It will help you build. So that was my word of warning for you, but now you know that it's coming, you know what to expect, so you're gonna have no problem. If you click the video on the screen now, you can learn why everybody keeps quitting alcohol. Definitely check that out. Have a great day.